D4vd never imagined his Tesla could become a death trap. In a shocking twist of technology, mystery, and betrayal, 7 bizarre claims have emerged that turn his murder into one of the most confounding cases of the decade. The quiet streets of Portland had never felt so eerie. The night sky hung heavy with clouds, and the occasional flicker of streetlights cast long shadows across empty sidewalks. In this quiet, a scene unfolded that would shock the city and eventually the world. D4vd, a 28-year-old tech entrepreneur who had recently gained fame for his innovations in artificial intelligence and self-driving vehicles, was found dead inside his Tesla. The car was parked in the heart of an abandoned warehouse district, a place locals avoided after dusk. At first, investigators assumed the incident was a tragic accident. Perhaps a malfunction in the car's electrical system had caused the fire that consumed the vehicle. But as forensic teams examined the scene, subtle inconsistencies began to surface. Burn patterns inside the car didn't match typical electrical fires. Certain areas of the interior were untouched while others were charred in unnatural ways, suggesting something far more deliberate. Nearby security cameras, which should have captured the Tesla's movements, had inexplicably gone offline around the time of the incident. Technicians later discovered that the footage had been deleted, not by system error, but intentionally. As news of D4vd's death spread online, speculation grew at a rapid pace. Fans and internet sleuths quickly noticed inconsistencies in official reports, and social media became flooded with conspiracy theories. Some claimed the car's autopilot system had been hacked. Others suggested corporate rivals had motives to eliminate him. Yet more proposed bizarre theories involving experimental technology and secret cryptocurrency schemes. Even friends and family described D4vd as increasingly paranoid in the weeks leading up to his death, though none expected it to end in tragedy. Investigators faced mounting pressure to explain the unusual circumstances, while the public eagerly dissected every piece of information available. Each new detail contradicted the last, creating a sense of unease and curiosity that refused to fade. Online forums began compiling lists of what some called the 7 bizarre claims tied to the case, and amateur investigators debated the plausibility of each one. From burned interiors to missing footage, from mysterious chemicals to unexplained drone sightings, the story took on a life of its own. The streets where D4vd had been found remained silent, yet the echoes of his death reverberated far beyond Portland, signaling the beginning of a mystery that would captivate audiences and confound experts for months to come. As investigators dug deeper into the strange circumstances surrounding D4vd's death, a series of shocking discoveries began to emerge. The first claim that caught their attention involved the Tesla's autopilot system. Records showed that the vehicle had been remotely accessed hours before the fatal incident. Engineers confirmed that the commands executed were not part of the car's normal software behavior. Someone somewhere had taken control of the vehicle without authorization. The thought that D4vd might have been manipulated or monitored through his own car unsettled both investigators and the public. Then came the second claim, tied to D4vd's personal life. His phone, heavily encrypted, contained messages and hidden files suggesting he had been meeting with unknown individuals late at night. These encounters were secretive, and no one close to him seemed aware of their purpose. The cryptic messages hinted at confidential business deals or clandestine exchanges that could have made him a target. Third, a strange chemical residue was discovered inside the Tesla, coating areas untouched by the fire. Laboratory tests failed to identify the substance. It did not match any standard accelerants or materials used in vehicles, leaving authorities baffled. Experts suggested it could be an experimental compound, and suddenly the case shifted from a possible accident to a potential act of scientific sabotage. Beyond the chemical anomaly, the fourth claim involved the security systems surrounding D4vd's workspace. Surveillance footage from his office building had gaps during the days before his death. Certain recordings were inexplicably corrupted, preventing investigators from fully tracking his movements. This raised questions about whether someone had tampered with the cameras to hide crucial evidence. Fifth, colleagues and friends reported that D4vd had been unusually secretive and tense in the weeks before his death. He had confided in a few trusted associates about worries that someone might be following him, though he never revealed specific details. His increasing paranoia suggested he sensed danger, though the source remained unclear. As these pieces of evidence piled up, authorities realized that the case was far more complex than a simple accident. Each bizarre claim added layers of mystery, from the unexplained chemical to the encrypted meetings and remote access of the Tesla. Online communities eagerly dissected every new report, creating timelines and theories that often contradicted each other. The narrative of D4vd's final days was becoming a maze of secrets, suggesting that the truth was buried under a web of technology, deception, and human intrigue, making the investigation a puzzle that no one could yet solve. The investigation into D4vd's death took an even stranger turn as the remaining bizarre claims began to surface. The fourth claim sent shockwaves through the tech world. It appeared that D4vd had recently purchased a rare and traceable cryptocurrency that suddenly vanished from the market after his death. Analysts noted that the transactions linked to this currency were highly irregular, moving through accounts in multiple countries, leaving almost no trace. Some experts suggested these transactions could be tied to clandestine financial operations, while conspiracy theorists online speculated that D4vd had uncovered a dangerous secret that someone wanted to erase. The fifth claim involved a mysterious drone sighting. Neighbors reported seeing a black, silent drone hovering near the Tesla on the night of the incident. Its movements were precise, almost mechanical, as if it had been programmed for a specific purpose. No owner came forward, and authorities could not trace its origin. The presence of the drone suggested surveillance or orchestration that went beyond ordinary criminal activity. The sixth claim centered around haunting security footage captured near the warehouse district. The footage revealed a hooded figure walking through the area around the time of D4vd's death, but the figure's face appeared strangely distorted, almost as if the video had been digitally altered in real time. Forensic analysts debated whether this was a glitch, a sophisticated form of masking, or an intentional attempt to conceal an identity. The ambiguity only fueled public speculation, as online forums theorized everything from corporate espionage to more supernatural explanations. Each new claim seemed disconnected yet somehow intertwined, painting a picture of a death that was both bizarre and meticulously orchestrated. Adding to the mystery, traces of unusual substances similar to those previously found in the Tesla were discovered near the site where the hooded figure had been seen. Experts could not identify the compounds, leaving open the possibility of advanced technology or experimental chemicals playing a role. The combination of encrypted cryptocurrency, the untraceable drone, and manipulated security footage suggested that D4vd's death involved forces and planning far beyond what any ordinary investigation could uncover. As investigators struggled to piece together the timeline, online communities became increasingly obsessed, analyzing minute details from the footage and lab reports. The narrative of the D4vd Tesla murder was evolving into a puzzle of high-tech intrigue, secret financial maneuvers, and unexplained phenomena, leaving authorities and the public alike questioning who or what was truly behind his death. Each revelation deepened the mystery, ensuring that the story of D4vd's final hours would captivate attention far beyond the streets of Portland. The seventh bizarre claim brought the investigation into D4vd's death to an even darker and more unsettling level. Hidden inside his office, investigators discovered a series of cryptic notes carefully stashed in a locked drawer. Each note contained short, fragmented messages referencing the shadow behind the wheel and included dates and times eerily close to his death. Forensic handwriting experts confirmed that the notes were written by D4vd himself, suggesting that he had been aware of some impending danger. The content of the notes hinted at a growing fear of someone close to him being involved in a sinister plan, though he never identified a specific person. The discovery of these messages sent shockwaves through his friends and colleagues, who admitted that while D4vd had recently grown paranoid, no one imagined the paranoia would foreshadow such a tragedy. Adding to the tension, investigators found that D4vd had begun taking unusual security precautions in the weeks before his death. His home and office were equipped with additional surveillance equipment and encrypted communication channels, indicating he feared being monitored or followed. This raised questions about whether he had uncovered a conspiracy or if his paranoia was a response to a real threat. Analysts studying the case noted that the combination of technological manipulation, hidden messages, and secretive behavior created a chilling narrative that was far more complex than any ordinary murder. Some theorists suggested that the cryptic notes could contain hidden clues or codes, potentially pointing to the identity of the perpetrator or revealing motives that went beyond personal vendetta. Meanwhile, investigators continued to study the Tesla's systems, which had been remotely accessed before the incident. and the untraceable cryptocurrency transactions, trying to connect these elements with the warnings in D4vd's notes. Each thread hinted at a broader story of betrayal, espionage, and possibly criminal enterprise, though no definitive link could be proven. Online communities began piecing together timelines that combine the notes, drone sightings, chemical residues, and unusual financial activity, creating elaborate theories that ranged from corporate sabotage to shadowy international conspiracies. Even without concrete evidence, the seventh bizarre claimed the discovery of D4vd's own ominous warnings suggested that he had sensed a threat that few could have anticipated. As authorities continued to probe these mysteries, the public remained captivated, following every twist and turn in what had become one of the most confounding and high-profile cases in recent history. The combination of fear, secrecy, and advanced technology ensured that the Tesla murder would remain a puzzle for years to come. Months after D4vd's death, a breakthrough emerged that reignited both the investigation and public fascination. Hidden deep within a backup of the Tesla's internal logs, authorities discovered a sequence of automated commands originating from an unknown device. The data showed the car had been manipulated remotely in a precise and coordinated manner, confirming suspicions that D4vd's death was not an accident. Technical experts analyzed the commands and concluded that no ordinary user could have replicated them. It suggested a level of planning and access that pointed to a skilled and deliberate perpetrator. This discovery tied together several of the previous bizarre claims: the remote access of the Tesla, the cryptic notes, and even the mysterious drone sighting, hinting that all these anomalies were not random but part of a single, orchestrated event. At the same time, financial analysts revisited the unusual cryptocurrency transactions, now with the Tesla data in hand. Patterns in the movement of funds indicated a connection to unknown international accounts, suggesting that D4vd may have stumbled upon a network far larger and more secretive than anyone realized. The mysterious chemical residues, still unidentified, were examined once more, though labs struggled to match them with any known compounds. Some theorists speculated that they could have been designed to interfere with the car's systems or as part of a psychological tactic to instill fear in D4vd before the fatal incident. As the investigation unfolded, online communities continued to dissect every detail, creating detailed timelines and attempting to reconstruct D4vd's final hours. The combination of high-tech manipulation, encrypted communication, and unexplained phenomena made the story almost ungraspable, yet impossible to ignore. While the official case remained unsolved, each piece of evidence added to the narrative of a modern technological mystery. Experts agreed that whoever was behind the events had extraordinary access, both to advanced technology and to D4vd's personal life. The public, meanwhile, remained captivated, drawn to the layers of intrigue, the unanswered questions, and the bizarre coincidences that seemed to align too perfectly to be accidental. The Tesla murder became more than a news story. It evolved into a chilling reminder that in the modern age, even ordinary spaces like city streets and personal vehicles could become instruments of complex schemes. D4vd's death stood as a symbol of vulnerability in an increasingly connected world, and the 7 bizarre claims surrounding the case ensured that curiosity, fear, and speculation would endure, leaving a story that might never be fully solved, but would captivate audiences for years to come.